Hey everyone, thanks for joining us on the Beavercraft channel. If you're new here, I'm Andrew, and today we're exploring one of the simplest and most relaxing forms of wood carving, whittling. If you've been thinking about getting into wood carving as a hobby, this is a fantastic place to start. Whittling involves carving wood by hand with just a simple knife, and it's an excellent way to develop your carving skills, build control, and create something from scratch. In this video, you'll learn some basic whittling techniques and discover tips for safe and effective carving. We'll also share a few simple projects you can try at home. First things first, let's go over the basic tools you'll need. The great thing about whittling is that you don't need much to get started. A simple whittling knife will do the trick. Look for a knife with a thin blade and a comfortable grip. This will give you good control over the blade, especially as a beginner. Also, make sure the knife's sharp. Trust me, a sharp knife is much safer than a dull one because it cuts cleanly and doesn't require as much force. If your blade starts to dull, don't hesitate to strop it to keep it in good shape. We covered sharpening techniques in a previous video, so be sure to check that out if you need a refresher. For whittling, it's best to start with soft types of wood, like basswood, poplar, or alder. These woods are easy to carve and give you nice, clean cuts without too much resistance. You can find basswood at most craft stores, and it's often used by beginners because it's so forgiving. It's best to skip hardwoods like oak or walnut. When you're starting, trust me on this. They're harder to carve and can make things tricky for beginners. As you get the hang of it, you can try out different kinds of wood, but for now, stick with something soft that's easier to work with. Alright, let's dive into some basic whittling grips and techniques that you'll need to master. The first technique is the push grip, which is also known as a push cut, and it goes like this. With this grip, you're using your thumb to push the knife forward in controlled small cuts. This gives you precision and helps prevent the blade from slipping. Next up, we've got the paring grip, kind of like peeling an apple. With this one, you're pulling the knife towards you, but make sure to keep your thumb pressed against the wood for control. Take it slow and steady, and don't force the knife. Just let it glide and do its thing. Go ahead and practice these grips by making small, light cuts on your wood. Take it slow and focus on control, not speed. The goal here is to build up your hand strength and get those cuts nice and precise. Okay, quick safety check before we jump in. Always keep an eye on where your hands are and make sure you have a stable grip on the knife. When you're making your cuts, keep the blade pointed away from your hands and legs. This is super important to avoid accidents. Rough cuts aren't usually the best option for whittling unless you're trying to take off bigger sections of wood. Also, when you're pushing the blade all the way through, make sure there's nothing in its path, no fingers, nobody nearby, and nothing you don't want to accidentally cut. You could even damage the blade if it hits something hard, like a table lamp or another tool. So instead, give preference to a more controlled approach, using a thumb push grip. This is what we call the push cut. It's also a good idea to wear cut-resistant tape and gloves, especially if you're just starting out. These safety measures provide added protection in case the knife slips. Keep your workspace clean and organized, free of clutter and anything you don't need for the whittling session. Alright, my fellow whittlers, now that you got the basics down, let's take a quick stroll through some fun projects you can tackle to sharpen those skills. I've got a few simple designs that are perfect for beginners, and I'm excited to share them with you. First up, here's our little comfort bird. It's a great starter project that helps you practice your cuts and hand control. Plus, it makes a cute decoration. Next, we've got this mushroom. It's a fantastic project for practicing curves and those fine details. I love how you can really play around with the shape here. You can see how I started with a basic block and then added the fins. Just a few gentle cuts and voila! It's all about having fun with the form. Here's another great one, a simple spoon or spatula. It's super satisfying to make and even more fun to use. Plus, it's a neat way to impress your friends. And there you have it, 3 simple projects to kick off your whittling adventure. I hope you feel inspired to give them a try. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more tips and creative ideas in the world of wood carving. It only takes a second for you, but it really helps us out. Happy whittling, and I'll catch you in the next video.